But I think about that scene, and I think about it in relation to what you do with your own music in film. And I wonder if maybe even unconsciously watching that movie, in the 80s affected the way that you started to compose for movies, because one of the things that I love about your work in movies is that you don't overuse music. In fact, you pride yourself on being very specific about how you use music.
Yes.
And there was actually a way that you said you've described your work in movies as minimalist, heartfelt, and full of space and air. And I just wonder, can you talk a little bit about that, especially space and air? What does that mean?
Well, one of the things that is amazing is that, that now, just reading, I don't really understand anything, but I try to read and learn more about quantum and all that.
You do understand, you do.
Quantum is that, as you know, in the atoms, most of what conforms an atom is air, is nothingness. Nothing. I mean, they say that if we will get whatever, all the atoms on Earth, the people and everything, okay, the objects, nature, everything, if we took all the air, everything, we could be able to condense everything in an apple. If we took all the the nothingness that are in the atoms, that the air, that space, that is, so that's, I think that that space, and which I associate also with silence, is precious.
Yeah.
Because also frames existence. That silence and that space is what actually puts the frame to what exists. And in music, I've mentioned this several times, but although it's difficult to learn how to play many notes, you basically practice a lot and you eventually will get there, just play, lots of notes very fast. It's harder not to play. It's much harder to wait, and hold and create that tension between the two notes. I'm not talking about also the silence. I like always to clarify that the silence that comes about an end when a piece ends, but the silence that is between two notes, that makes the world of a difference for me.
Yeah.
Although I celebrate also compositions and composers that actually put lots of notes,
lots of notes, not silence.
And because also they can be used in different ways, one of the things that I do in my limited ways that I express myself is I have a technique that when I play the ronroco that actually involves the use of many notes played very fast at the same time, but they are played in such a way, in such a form that actually after a while it becomes like silence. So
because of the repetition.
Because of the repetition and because it has this sort of hypnotic feel to it, and actually it becomes like silence. So it's funny, but it can be done. But
contradictory, but yet not.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also was able to articulate this after I did it for a long time.
Around what point did that become clear to you? Because as you're talking, I think about the first film score that I really heard was Amores, Perros.
Okay.
And it's very clear in the theme of that movie. There's so much silence in between the notes.
Correct.
Amores, Perros.
At the time, I always did it, as I said, very intuitive, intuitive. But when I did Brokeback Mountain, remember I did, it's a nice story because I really read the script.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything in my life was organic, one thing to the other, not because I had a Hollywood agent that was looking for it. No, it wasn't like that. Actually, Amores, Perros, we have a common friend, Alejandro González Iñárritu, which I didn't know at the time.
With Ang Lee for Brokeback Mountain.
But Amores, Perros. Alejandro González Iñárritu, which is the first movie that really brought me to the world of cinema. We had a common friend, but I didn't know Alejandro, and remember, Amores Perros was his first film, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was his debut. Yeah, so then 21 grams, which is amazing.
This friend told me, said, you have to do the music for Amores Perros, and she was telling Alejandro, you have to with Gustavo because they also, she I guess played him the record on Rocco and he loved it and I was so. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked, but it's a nice story.
No. This is also an important story because it's defining your career. Yeah.
So I was so busy at the time. I usually very busy. I took do
and
many,
you were producing like 10 different artists. Julieta Venegas. Yeah.
Anything.
Juanes.
Yes, and so I never read the script. I didn't know what the movie was about. It was a first-time director. I said, to Lucia, my assistant manager, I said, Lucia, tomorrow call Mexico and say, I'm not going to be able to do this movie, I don't have the time, it's first time movie of a director, okay, I never seen anything as near as At night, in the middle of the night, I woke up, not sweaty all like in the movies, but but I woke up and I started thinking, I'm going, what if this guy is a genius? What if this what if this?
That's amazing.
What if?
I think that was an angel putting that in your mind.
So, yes. No, it's true. But the night and the dreams and all that, it's a special moment
it is.
for all. So I called early in the morning. I said, call Mexico, please. Don't say, call and tell them that if they come over here to Los Angeles and they show me the movie, I will consider it.
Wow.
Sure enough, Alejandro came with the movie.
That's amazing.
At the time, he was a chain smoker, so I remember he put the video, was a video there, and I was there with Aníbal Kerpel, which is my creative partner of many years, and we started watching the movie, and I don't know how many have seen Amores Perros, but the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie, it's a car chase with a
very dramatic
bleeding dog in the back, and it's unbelievable,
It is.
I remember
the energy.
We watched that first time, we looked at each other and we said, we're doing this movie,
Yeah.
And Alejandro was out because he was smoking and stuff, and so we started working in the movie. That's where Amores Perros comes. And then Alejandro tells me when we were already working in the movie, he said, I have this friend that is doing a movie, about Ernesto Guevara, it's Walter Salles. I'm going, oh yes, Central Station, I love Walter Salles. You should meet with Walter. So sure enough, we meet, and I end up doing Motorcycle Diaries. So Motorcycle Diaries, we were presenting Motorcycle Diaries at Sundance, and somebody at the party after the screening said, Gustavo should meet Ang Lee because he's doing, this movie.
Brokeback Mountain.
So they sent me a script. I read the script, and I love it. And then a month went by. I went to New York. I was playing at a concert at Carnegie Hall with a friend of mine, Osvaldo Golijov. I was with Myron Rocco, and I get a phone call, and I said, Ang Lee is in Manhattan, and they're at the Focus office, and he would love to meet you, So I saw him, went with Myron Rocco, and Ang is a Chinese man. He just doesn't have many words.
Yeah.
I remember we said, hi. He pointed at Myron Rocco. I took it out, and I started playing for him.
Wow.
And that's how we started. So I play a little bit, and then we started talking about the movie. I have read the script, and we sort of agree about the score with the guitar and strings and stuff. So I went back to Los Angeles and I started working on it and stuff. And 20 days later, I sent what became the music of the movie,
Wow.
Because I did all the music before the movie was shot.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain.
That's one of the things that amazes me every time I think of that.
So,
you didn't see the images at all.
No, nothing. And so sent the thing, and I got this phone call that was amazing, and this is kind of the end of the story, from the producer, James Seamus. He calls me and laughing, I said, man, you won't believe it. He said, Ang got the music that you sent, and he came and said, he thought it was music that you have done before, that you sent it as an example and stuff, and he said, damn, this music would be perfect for the movie. And I said, no, this is the music of the movie. And he saw it. James saw it. He told me. He said, "I'll see you at the Oscars." He said, I'll see you
And you
at the
won.
Oscars. He said,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's another story. That's a great story too.
Yeah, it's one of 2 Oscars you've won.
Yes, I won 2 back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, for Brokeback.
For Brokeback and for Babel.
And for
an
Babel.
Alejandro movie, which I was so happy because Alejandro really is a guy that, kind of put me in the map for this level. I've done a film before, nice, but it's a very small film many years ago, and that was all that I've done in film.
But I would also argue that you, with your score, put that movie on the map because that soundtrack is amazing from Amores, Perros.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And the way of working, is an unusual way of working, and Brokeback was the biggest example of it, because all the incidental music, o sea, the score, not the songs, but the score, was all done before. So he took the music, he actually played the music on the set, he listened to the music, and he was so gallant, to actually, in the LA Times, said that he put together the narrative of the movie from the music. Using the music, he kind of like conceived how he was going to tell the story, But in general, in all the movies that I work, there's a big percentage of it that I will do not to picture. Yes.